Hello, everyone. Welcome to At Ease, the show brought to you by RLC Veterans Assistance. Out there on Boulder Highway, soon to be moving to a new location, which Len is going to tell us all about. With me, of course, as always, is the CEO of RLC Veterans Assistance, Mr. Len Connell.
Hi, Ron. How you doing?
Len, you got a new phone number. Let's get that on the table right away.
That is correct. So anyway, with our move to Las Vegas, we're changing our main phone number. We've already done it preactively. 725-204-9706. 725-204-9706. That's our new number. We're going to carry that through downtown because obviously we're leaving Old Henderson. We had to leave a couple of numbers back there because of CenturyLink, and now we've got a new main number, and we'll be using it until further notice, which is 725-204-9706. And we're looking forward to being part of the commercial center. We're having office space built out as we speak, and we're looking at 953 East Sahara. That was the first shopping center in the history of Las Vegas, the oldest shopping center in Nevada, by the way. And the place you find it is 1 mile east of the Strip, corner of Sahara and Maryland Parkway.
Let me tell you, this is going to be a good move for you, Len. How much space are you going to have over there?
We're looking around 2,000 to 3,000, depending on what building we pick. So it's going to be pretty nice. And a lot of the space out there is retail. We might have to build it out a little bit. That's why we got the month delay in moving. But we're going to have it right for what we do, and we're taking it from retail to office. And the nice part about it is that it'll be perfect for us, perfect use, modern material, everything like that. It'll be a boost to the community, too.
You know, besides the move, which is going to be fantastic for RLC Veterans Assistance because you'll have a bigger venue there, and you'll be able to serve more veterans with a little bit more space than you have now, and you won't be located down there on Boulder Highway. Nothing wrong with Boulder Highway, but it's a little further out. This is going to bring you in more to the center of the city.
It'll be in the center of the diamond. If you look at Las Vegas, it's like a big diamond. You know, North Las Vegas is the top, Anthem is at the bottom, Boulder City is at the right, and then Summerlin's at the left. So where we are is pretty much right in the center of the valley. It's going to make it a lot easier for people to get in and out of. And then there are some nice restaurants like the Composer's Room and a number of others that people
There's
can
no
avail
other
themselves.
restaurant in there besides the... Oh, there are. I'm just kidding, of course. Right. There are some great restaurants in there, and new ones opening all the time. That's going to be an excellent location, commercial center. It's the wave of the future in that particular area. So we're going to move on a little bit here, Len. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, I want to talk to you a little bit about what's going on Wall Street. You mentioned earlier, and I knew this, that you were part of the financial community back in the day.
For many years, that's right.
And you call yourself the original wolf of
right.
Wall Street.
One of the wolves of Wall Street.
So when we come back, we'll find out what that's all about and what the tariffs and the trade war and all that, how that affects our veterans. We'll be right back right after this.
Hey Vegas! Celebrate every day in style at the Composer's Room. From live music to comedy shows, we've got entertainment that'll give you that Las Vegas vibe. Our tavern serves the best drinks in Vegas. Whether you're a cocktail connoisseur or a beer buff, our bartenders got you covered. And let's not forget about the food. Our culinary delights are sure to tantalize your taste buds. Come for the entertainment and stay for the food. Reserve your visit to the Composer's Room today and start celebrating Las Vegas our way.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
More with Len Connell, CEO of RLC Veterans Assistance, currently on Boulder Highway, but soon moving to Commercial Center, and we look forward to that move. Len, there's a lot of talk on the news now about tariffs and the market, and the markets are a little bit rattled. There's no doubt about it, but it always comes back. I've always said that to my friends and myself, that don't run away from the market. It always comes back, and it grows every year. What are the consequences of what's happening now, and how does that affect a possible recession?
You know, the big thing about it is that it's like pulling a Band-Aid. And if you notice, every 10 years, they've got to pull the Band-Aid. And we go into a stock market correction. We also go into a recession. 10 years ago, it was the 2008 financial collapse. We had to do it. Why? Because we had so much borrowed money and so many overheated values on everything that nothing would have been worth anything unless someone stood up and put an end to it. 10 years before that, we had to pay for the Gulf War, and President Bush decided to pay for it all at once instead of leaving that deficit to future generations, but it put the country into a 3-year recession. Before that, President Reagan, tax reform, getting rid of the unions, lowering interest rates, getting rid of all those government programs. Once again, put a lot of people out to work, created a recession. It took 3 years to have mourning in America. The list could go on. So the concern is this. A lot of veterans might be worried about what's going to happen to their paychecks, what can they do about it, because they're living on a fixed income. And a lot of the veterans aren't earning as much as civilian because they're in the service, or they tend to get jobs that aren't as highly paid as, say, someone who's been to college. They might have to go back to college. They might have to learn some skills. So for a lot of the time as a veteran gets out of the service, they might be a little bit in a lower income and maybe a little bit vulnerable to this kind of an economic recession. Now, one thing I want to say really quick, it's not going to bounce right back. It's going to take a couple of years to do. The estimate is that we're going to get back even, at best case, 39 months from now. And if you think of this, well, guess what? If somebody was making all the tires in China, well, we got to make all the tires in America, which means we got to build the tire factory. We got to put machinery in it. We got to get the city to approve it. We got to train people how to make tires again, okay? So even if there was no other problem, it's still going to be a 2 to 3 year cycle for this to come back. Now, here's a tongue twister for you, because a lot of your brokers are saying, you know, market's going to go right back up. Don't worry about it. It's just a blip. It's okay like that. Okay. So watch this. I used to manage $1 million portfolios for many years. If you had 5 years, the market went up 10% every single year for 5 years. Then the 6th year, the market lost 15% like it did recently. What does your rate of return have to be in year 7 just to get even? And you're going to laugh when you hear the answer.
I don't have an answer for that. You're the guy with the knowledge in that business.
Okay, so most people would say, you know, gee, it went down 15. If it goes up 20, I'm ahead of the game. That's probably what your broker would agree to. I hate to say it. The market would have to go up 52% next year to undo the 15% drop this year. Now, you might say, why? Because you lost interest and you lost principal that generates the interest. And most people don't explain that. So your statements are going to be down for quite some time. Now, another thing you're going to be looking forward to as well, interest rates. The bank is going to tighten up the cost of money. Why? The market is a prediction of how well businesses are going to do next year. So if the bank thinks a lot of people are going to have problems paying their bills, or a lot of people are going to go BK, they're going to get as much of the do-re-mi as they can.
Well, how does this affect our veterans and their disability checks and the kind of things you get for them at RLC?
Okay, so anyway, getting that government disability check that you served, you deserve. 70% of all people that were in the service just for 20 years, according to the VA, qualify for a 70% rating. So if 70% of the people that got out of the service after 20 years came to us and applied for a disability rating, according to the VA's figures, they would have a $4,600 extra tax-free income per month as a head start towards anything that they could get. And we were even looking at little things. For example, like, Ron, you like to shop at the BX.
Yes. The base exchange
Base exchange, okay?
on Nellis Air Force Base.
And you get a
And the commissary, by the way.
and the commissary. So you get a 30% discount on groceries, on
Yes.
basic goods, on blanket, sheets, towels,
Yes.
any of that stuff that people would buy in a grocery store, or maybe what they would buy in Target or Walmart. Okay, now imagine, Ron, if you were a woman who had 5 kids to clothe.
Well,
And
the
it was
savings
back
are
to school.
phenomenal.
The savings are phenomenal. And what's going to ultimately happen, and I hate to say it, guess where that stuff is made?
China.
So if China throws 100% tariff on what it sends to us, and China is going to make the kids' clothes when they go through a growth spurt just because they turned 12, you might want to be able to go to the BX.
But you can't go to the BX and you can't go to the commissary unless you visit Len at RLC Veterans Assistance, and Len arranges for you to get some disability money, because once you get that, you go to Nellis Air Force Base or any USAF or Army or Navy or Marine facility, and you show your ID, and they will give you a card as part of the Veterans Healthcare System, which enables you to get on and off the base because you have a disability.
So think of it, how many people, and a lot of the men out there might not know what their wife spends on a lot of this stuff. Let's talk about that. What if you go up an extra $100 or $200 a week because of groceries and giving the kids clothes? Watch this. Co-pays on prescriptions.
Yes.
So people on the bronze plan, they might have to pay $10 a prescription or $20, whatever else. You get up to a high enough level, 20% in your disability award, guess what? All the co-pays go away. I had a wife came in. We only got the husband and wife 10%. She says, I'm saving $800 a month on all the co-pays just for the prescriptions for our family. So let's add that up to the groceries. We're talking a couple of grand here. And we haven't even talked about the pension income. Let's talk about real estate. Interest rates are going to go up. Why? The banks are going to tighten. The second reason, too, is that the dollar is the reference currency in America. Okay? What I mean by that is that the Japanese put their pensions in American dollars. The French buy cheese from the Italians in American dollars. The dollar has to be strong. If the dollar is weak because our economy is weak, they might use euros. So interest rates have to go up so people will continue to put money in dollars. But that means it's going to be tougher to buy a home if you're a civilian. If you're a veteran, guess what? 20%, $1 down, VA guaranteed loan, low interest rate, low credit score, they take it.
Let's go to a break right now. Once again, the phone number, the new phone number at RLC Veterans Assistance is 725-204-9706. Once again, 9706. RLC Veterans Assistance. We'll be right back with more.
Hey Vegas! Celebrate every day in style at the Composer's Room. From live music to comedy shows, we've got entertainment that'll give you that Las Vegas vibe. Our tavern serves the best drinks in Vegas. Whether you're a cocktail connoisseur or a beer buff, our bartenders got you covered. And let's not forget about the food. Our culinary delights are sure to tantalize your taste buds. Come for the entertainment and stay for the food. Reserve your visit to the Composer's Room today and start celebrating Las Vegas our way.
More with Len Connell and RLC Veterans Assistance right now. Len, the market up and down, up and down. Now more down than up lately, and that's part of the medicine that we're told that we have to take
Strong
at this
medicine.
time. So I'm only 10% disability, going in for more. I have a hearing issue. I get $175.12 on the first of every month. Do I have to worry about that fluctuating?
No, that's money guaranteed by the United States government. Congress can't take it away. The Supreme Court can't take it away. The Senate can't take it away. The president can't take it away. The VA exists next to the rest of the government as an independent firm. Why is that? I'm going to tell you why. In World War II, we had, 30 million people that could shoot a gun. And they came back and they say, look, we won this war. We're going to do this the easy way or the hard way. And they said, for all GIs and all people that served, you're going to get all these benefits. The GI Bill, we want you guys buying houses. We want you guys starting families. We want you guys in school. We don't want you planning the next revolution, So they got what they wanted. They got everything they wanted, and they can't take it away from you. My father died 5 weeks ago. If he had lived, my father's government benefits with OPM and everything else would have been $18,100 a month of guaranteed government money every single month.
Wow.
Could you imagine what we could have done with that in this recession? How many homes we could have bought? We could have been going around buying cars off the street because the civilians can't afford their sports cars anymore and whatever else. We say, hey, like they say, cash is king, credit is queen. Government guaranteed mortgage. Can't foreclose on it. The government pays the mortgage. But you know what? The mortgage company actually threatened to foreclose on me because my dad died. You know why? Because they think they can get more money. But the government pays for the mortgage, and I can assume that mortgage with permission of the VA and keep the same low rate that my father had. And I noticed, guess what? The lady downstairs whose husband died 3 days before my father, she got a foreclosure notice, okay? Not because they're bad people. It's just somebody died and the bank wants to take a swipe at them. So if she stays in the home, I'm going to inform her that she has the benefit of a VA government loan.
Are you getting that waiver from the VA to stay where you are?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
How did you accomplish that?
Oh, yeah. I just lawyered up and I slapped him in the hand and say, quit sending falsified notices to Mr. Connell because he knows better, okay? But most people can see this and go, well, Dad was in the service and I'm not. I'm a civilian, so I guess I lose that really good mortgage and I have to go back and requalify and pay $25,000, right? They wanted to get out of my pocket. You know why? So they could get more, okay? So anyway, I knew that it was all smoke and mirrors, and I had my lawyer go in and shoot one right over the side, but a lot of veterans might not know that because they might be in an FHA or a conventional mortgage, or they could be in an investor loan.
What if they have the VA loan?
Can't do it to them because the VA steps in and intervenes and says, look, mortgage company, we're paying you, not the veteran. The veteran pays us, we pay you. So this is how this works. Whatever reasonable payment the veteran and his family can make at the time, the bank's got to take it because they're dealing with the VA. They're not dealing with the widow and the children and the people that are there. And that's just an example of some of the things that you need to know. So say, for example, there you are. You got a wife, you got kids. You want to buy your first home. Nobody told you about a $1 down VA mortgage. And somebody says, you got to go get us $40,000 and go find some loan shark if you want to buy it. No. Deal with us.
I bought a home on the VA, on the GI Bill. Back in 1976, I believe it was,
Yep.
on Viking. Nothing down. I put no money out of my pocket. But then I sold that home. So the question I have for you, Len, as a veteran, am I able to reuse my home GI ability to get a low payment, low interest home loan
Absolutely.
again?
Yes, you can. You can use it again every 202 days.
Every 202 days.
That's correct.
That stops people from flipping houses and...
Exactly.
I get it.
So you got to use it every 202 days. You have to have occupied the residence for at least 6 months, and that's what the rules are. However, the average veteran who is disabled, who's getting the benefit from the government, with the same monthly payment, can buy a house twice the value of the civilian. That's a powerful thing. And then if you look at
So you're saying you can get twice as much house
for the same payment.
for the same payment.
That's correct. That's correct. But, go to a realtor that's veteran certified. Ask that realtor, do you understand VA loans? Do you understand VA mortgages, whatever else? If they don't, go to, your VFW. Come to us. Go to the people that, run veterans organizations. Go to the VA. They'll give you a list of the people that are accredited to work with those kind of mortgages. Once again, a big savings, especially when the bank's going to tighten up on who gets to buy homes. They might even raise the down payment. They might make it more difficult by putting fees in there, especially on the young families that are coming out of the service that need this kind of help.
But with the GI Bill, there's no down payment,
$1.
no closing costs.
Yep.
Actually, I came totally not out of pocket whatsoever
That's correct. That's correct.
when I got my home.
And by the way, if you pass away, your spouse gets the same benefits too, and your children, so long as they're surviving dependents. Now, here's another thing. The cost of a college education. Those private student loans are going to start going through the roof too when the banks start to tighten up because they can't be securitized the way they were before. So anyway, guess what? 40% disability, kids get the GI Bill, they go to college, government pays for college. In fact, in some cases, the kids can get a E4 sergeant's pay while they're going to school. They
Really?
get paid to go to school.
E4 is a good number.
That's right. And on top of it, if they want to go to medical school, if they want to go to law school, if they want to go to engineering school, the government will pay for all that. So a lot of students right now might be going, well, Mom, things aren't doing too good. We've had this tariff thing, and I don't want to bug you for extra money to pay for college. Well, maybe the solution is coming to us and getting that disability rating so the kids go
Get
for
that
free.
disability rating changes so many different things. As we said earlier, I can get on the Air Force Base or any military facility and shop at those great stores. The other day I went shopping, spent $200, and when you leave, they tell you how much you saved.
Yeah.
Well, I saved $100 on the $200 bill. If I had been at one of the other stores, it would have cost me $300, which I took home for only $200. One of the benefits of even a 10% disability, Len,
Just to, yeah,
it opens doors.
it opens the door for all those opportunities.
So let's get the phone number again. We'll take another break and come back and wrap all this up and talk about your guest for next week.
That's correct.
And that's got a real good guest there. Once again, 725-204-9706. RLC Veterans Assistance. Give us a call. We'll be right back.
Hey Vegas! Celebrate every day in style at the Composer's Room. From live music to comedy shows, we've got entertainment that'll give you that Las Vegas vibe. Our tavern serves the best drinks in Vegas. Whether you're a cocktail connoisseur or a beer buff, our bartenders got you covered. And let's not forget about the food. Our culinary delights are sure to tantalize your taste buds. Come for the entertainment and stay for the food. Reserve your visit to the Composer's Room today and start celebrating Las Vegas our way.
Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
We're back with Len Connell, and he's giving us a lot of great financial information on today's show, At Ease, brought to you by Len Connell's RLC Veterans Assistance. You're not going to change the name,
Nope.
right? You're going to leave it as Raymond
Leonard Connell.
Leonard Connell, and you're Leonard,
That's
named
right.
after your dad, right?
Exactly. I'm just his in reverse.
And now you've taken over the business. He's passed away.
That's correct. That's
You know, so you brought up some really good things today. So your money from the VA is not involved with the market whatsoever. Am I right, Len?
That's correct. That's correct.
So if the market goes up and down, there's no fluctuation with the money.
The money stays the same.
You know, even if you get those security attached, they can only take 25% of it. Did you know that? I'm
Yeah.
sure you did.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing is too that a VA a VA payout or whatever else can't be seized in a bankruptcy. It can't be held against you in a judgment, a lawsuit. It can't be leaned against or anything like that.
It's protected.
It's protected. By the way, we had to help a client with this. Your landlord cannot hold on to your VA check. Okay? No way. You get that check and you pay your rent. So if they think that you owe them rent, whatever else, they can't go in the mailbox and take your check until you pay up. Okay.
Social Security, the same thing.
That's correct.
Yeah,
Social
that's protected
Security,
money.
OPM is protected money. Pensions in private companies, however, have forfeiture provisions. So remember that. If you work for a big corporation or a big airline or something like that, or a big bank for that matter, your pension can go. Okay? There's a forfeiture provision in the civilian pension plan that is not in the VA pension plan.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today on At Ease. We talked about how veterans' benefits are not affected by the market. Interest rates don't change benefits. Unemployment doesn't change your benefits. Nothing changes your benefits, essentially.
Exactly.
So
There's
give
no
him
power
a
over it.
call. RLC Veterans Assistance. Look for your new office coming soon over at Commercial Center. Can't wait to
953
see it,
East
Len.
Yep.
725-204-9706. Thanks once again for watching and listening to RLC Benefits Assistance or Veterans Assistance right here on Hey Vegas TV, showing this show all over the world, all over the United States. We're happy you're watching. If you're watching us in another country, give us a call. Call that number. You can do it on your cell phone with no charge and let us know you're watching us in a whole nother country because right now, Len, we are worldwide.
That's fantastic.
Thank you for watching At Ease. I'm Ron Garrett. He's Len Connell.
Connell.
We'll see you on the next show. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.